Hello everybody, it's Dr. Kari here. Happy December. I wanted to touch base with you and give you some tips for getting through the holiday season so that you don't have to beat yourself up and you can get through the season and actually enjoy yourself and be ready for a really fabulous 2019. So my number one recommendation during this time of year is to slow it down. You know, with all the parties we have, and with the gift shopping, and with the deadlines at work because the year is ending, we really can end up rushing around. And you know it. You know as well as I know that when you rush around, things don't flow so smoothly. And when things don't flow so smoothly, we waste a lot of time. We leave our keys somewhere and we can't find them. We forget our cell phone. We run out of the house and forget that important thing we needed to do. We go to the grocery store and we forget to buy half the things that we needed on our list. We're rushing to get somewhere and we can't find a parking place because we're so scattered. Our energy isn't flowing smoothly. So the number one thing I want you to do this holiday season is to make sure that you keep it slow. Do that 5, 7, 10-minute meditation every day. Just sit there and let your body breathe. This will just slow the nervous system down. And then move about your day from this place. It'll make such a difference. You know it will. You know what I'm saying is true. You've done it both ways. You've rushed around like crazy and had everything go wrong. Or you've slowed it down and you've gotten just as much done. And what is this season really about? It's about being present with people. And if we're rushing around and our nervous system's all jacked up, we can't be present. So slow it down, and that will help this season be a whole lot more enjoyable for you. Now the next tips I'm going to make are all in service of slowing it down, because what is that amp up? That amp up is when we're stressed, right? When our stress hormones are up. So we want to do things in our everyday life that helps keep our stress hormones down, and if they get amped up, helps them return back to normal. So one of the ways that we help keep our stress hormones lower and also return them back to normal is we keep our movement practice in place. Whatever that is for you, whether that's walking, whether that's jogging, whether that's dancing, whether that's yoga, whether it's going to the gym, don't let it fall away during this time of year. It's so easy to do because we make everything else a priority. But if keeping that in place will help so much to help you have a really lovely holiday season. Look, if you don't have as much time, don't go to the gym for an hour, go for 30 minutes, right? If you don't have as much time, do a video of yoga at home instead of going to that hour-and-a-half class. There are ways in which you can get your movement practice in. It doesn't have to be the full length. Just a little bit every day makes a huge difference and goes a long way. Another strategy to keeping that stress down during this time of year is making sure you're keeping your blood sugar balanced. I talk about this in the book. However, what that means is don't start meal skipping. And making sure that your body is getting the nutrition that it needs. Super, super, super important thing, because every time your blood sugar drops, your body produces stress hormones and you are now in a stress state. It's just that simple. So the other thing is when we go to parties and we're hungry, we've been running around, we got that office party later on, we skipped lunch, now we get to the office party and we're hungry, we are going to have zero willpower, because when the brain needs glucose, it is an emergency situation and it turns off willpower. You will not be able to resist those cookies. I'm sorry, you won't. So make sure you're not skipping meals. And even better than that, arrive at your parties kind of slightly full, so that then you can pick and choose what you eat. If there's food there that isn't really the healthiest for you, it's not a big deal because you've already eaten enough food. But then if there's some things that are really lovely and yummy, you can eat them. So that's a really important one. Another really important one is if you have food limitations, make sure that you're bringing with you food that you can eat, so that you're not at the party sitting there trying not to eat food and you're hungry and you're trying not to eat food that you really know isn't good for you, right? Bring food. I always bring appetizers for myself. I always have gluten-free crackers with me. I always have, non-dairy dips and things. I just bring food with me. Nobody cares. They want me to be well and happy. Anybody that loves you is going to want you to be well and happy. They're not going to care if you bring something. So make sure you're meeting your dietary needs if you have them. And then the last thing I want to leave with you is around alcohol, because it's a time of year when we all tend to drink a little bit more or sometimes a lot more. And that is a big stressor on the system. The time to drink alcohol is really when your stress level is low, not when your stress level is high, because it increases the stress on your system. I know it doesn't feel that way. I know it feels like it helps decrease your stress. And it kind of does in the short term, at that immediate moment. But the next day, your liver's got a whole lot more work to do. And that liver working hard adds stress to your body, right? We're talking about body stress here. So keep your alcohol consumption down. How do you do that? When you arrive at a party, get a drink that's not alcoholic. Start that way. And then ease yourself into alcohol. Don't walk in the door and grab that shot. And then you're done for the rest of the evening. And then the last thing I'm going to say is make sure that you continue to get enough sleep. This is so important. And all the things that I have mentioned are going to help you get better sleep. So get your 7 hours a night. Don't forgo your sleep in order to try to get stuff done. It's a strategy that in the long run doesn't really work. So get enough sleep. Make sure you're not skipping meals. Make sure you're getting some sort of movement in. And remember to slow down. And if you do all those things, then when the inevitable triggers happen, which they're going to happen this time of year, it's because we're around family more. And if we're not around family, that in and of itself can be a trigger, right? But if we're around family more, family is where all of that outdated survival programming that I talk about, where it all comes from. Most of it came from family. So when you're around your family, it's going to happen. So when mom says that thing that she always says, if you're stressed out, you're going to react to it. But if you're not stressed out, okay, mom did it again. You can come into the office later and we can process it. But we don't have to ruin our holiday because mom did what mom does. Or your uncle who's going to talk about those politics that you just don't want to hear about because you just don't agree with them, right? You just walk in the other room and you let it go. So it's not necessary for our holidays to be painful and upsetting. If we take really good care of ourselves, then when upsetting things happen, we're cool. It's okay. We just take a deep breath, and we let it roll off our back. Anyway, I hope these tips help you so that you can get through this season, not only by, just surviving it, but actually enjoying it. It's a beautiful time of year. And I'm wishing you all so, whatever you celebrate this time of year, wishing you so much love and hoping that you just have a really, really, really lovely, lovely, lovely holiday season.